also at a suitable time down the road, we will work with your canteen operators to enable nutrition and health dashboards once they're ready to launch this like the other schools. So that's a little overview of the thought process when we created Vircle. Now, using Vircle in your school, you will be introduced to several different features and capabilities. Now, you start with the cash allowance, which is used typically for children to tap and pay. Very similar to your old cashless card service. The difference is now you get real-time insights, you get real-time alerts, and you can allocate money on demand. You don't have to bring cash to school to top up. Now, you also have within the app the meal plans. It's a bit more tricky, so I'll talk to you a little bit more on the meal plan models in Taylor's Puchong. And also, you will see the school e-store, which is used to purchase merchandises, cards, lanyards, and so on directly from the school. And also, as we go on, we will start exploring how to introduce other features of the e-store when the school is ready. Now, besides the in-school capabilities that you will use in Vircle, now the beauty about Vircle is if your child is going to another school for a sports meet, debate, and so on, and if it's a Vircle school, they can use their Taylor's Puchong card to purchase in any of these schools. So we have about 50 schools live on Vircle in the last 24 months. So if your child is traveling from Taylor's Puchong to Taylor's KL, don't worry. Their Taylor's Puchong card will be able to spend in Taylor's KL or any other schools that use Vircle. Now, optionally, for those of you who have older kids, once you upgrade your wallet to premium wallet, you can start issuing your children with a child safe Visa prepaid card. So think of it as the Visa prepaid card for pocket money of your kids outside school, and you will use the Taylor's Puchong school card for in-school spending. And all of this comes, of course, with real-time insights for parents and real-time alerts for parents. Now, we're a regulated service under Bank Negara Malaysia, and we're also unique in the sense that we are the first family e-wallet in the country, where a family parent will manage all their children's finances with a single app. So as such, we're governed under the Financial Services Act. And also, the way the Vircle system works is no money sits in the card. Very different to the previous system where the top up and the stored value sits in the card. The moment you onboard your children to Vircle, your Taylor School card acts almost like a safe debit card to be used in schools. Now, a common question we get from parents is, oh, how safe is my money? Every time I top up, sometimes I top up 500, 1,000 ringgit, how safe is the money? So just to let you know, all e-wallets, when, as a user, when you top up these e-wallets, the money goes to a trustee account that no one can touch. The money is only released from the trustee account every time your child spends. And this is done that way so that if for some reason, God forbid, something happens to the service provider like us, you still can claim your money directly from the trustees. Now, what happens when you leave the school? Well, you can just fill up a closed account form and we will refund the balances to your bank account. Now, it's very important when you create your parent account, please use your correct name, ID number, and so on, because in future, when you want to shut down the account, the bank account that we will credit your money to must match the name of the wallet user and ID number of the wallet user. Now, besides this, we go through the same security processes that all mainstream wallets undergo. And on top of that, as a platform that's trusted by all the top tier schools, in the last 24 months, a little more than 24 months, we've been deployed. Actually, it's 48, but as of this week, we have 50 schools live on Vircle already. Now, getting on board, there's a few things you need to know. First of all, you should have received an invite email with a unique, invite code for each of your children studying in the school. If you have not received your invite mail for your children yet, please do WhatsApp messages on the customer support number, or if you're already onboarded yourself as a parent in the app, through the help screen, help option in the home screen, there's a way to reach customer care from your app. And it's very important. The accounts, when you set up your parent account, only one parent should set this up and manage all your children's finances. Now, a lot of parents ask us, okay, why is it two parents can't manage the family account? Very simply, because of the financial services account, similar to your bank account, we are only allowed to allow one adult to operate it at any point of time. And also, we do a lot of security controls on which device is accessing the account at any point of time, and so on. So it's not about a technical limitation; it's a regulatory control that's requested of us, and that's why the Vircle family account should always be managed by a single parent. Now, getting started, here are the steps you should follow. For those of you who are not on board yet, you download the app and register for a parent account. Very important, add your child next and connect to school. We've had a few support cases where parents have tried to use the staff and parent onboarding journey to add their child. So please follow the steps as we have given in our onboarding website, which is add your child, then connect to school through the process. Once you have registered your child as a dependent, you will top up your parent wallet. And then once you've topped up your parent wallet, you can allocate money to your children using the transfer money function. Then you basically track spending and continue to give allowance. And of course, for those of you who need to make purchases from the e-store or make purchases for meals for your children, you will do that in-app and make the payments in-app. So very simple and hopefully straightforward to use. Now, as we progress, feel free to type out your questions in the chat screen. I will try to answer them as we progress through this session tonight. And if I can't address them through the session, I will address them towards the end of the session. Now, step one, you will download the app and from the relevant Play stores and app stores and app galleries. Very important, you will need a Malaysian mobile number to use Vircle, right? And this is, again, regulatory requirement for now. So for those of you foreign parents who are moving for the next semester, please wait till you come down and get your local Malaysian mobile number before you register for a Vircle principal account. Now, once you've downloaded and installed the app, you will see a Vircle icon on your phone. Tap on it. Now, the app, for the first time, will request for 3 types of permission. It's very important you understand what these permissions are and why we request for it. The first one is device camera and device storage. And that's because you realize, for those of you who have onboarded, when you register for your parent account, you will need to take a photo of yourself. And for that, we have camera access. And also, this photo is not sent in the clear. It's stored in your device. It's encrypted and is sent to us for verification. And besides this, there will be also a request for location access, similar to all your banking and e-wallet apps. Now, location is logged at 2 occasions in the app. Whenever you do a top-up, a location is logged. And secondly, whenever you make an in-app purchase, we also log the location and make sure there's no fraud or spoofing. Now, once you are done setting up these location approvals, this is a one-off thing. Then you click on sign up here, select adult. Now, children do not need to register for a Vircle account. I will show you and explain to you how you can enable child logins if you would like your child to have their own view of their allowances if they have their own mobile devices. All right. So for account registration, only parents need to do it. Now, there are 3 steps in creating the account. You may do them in any of the language of choice, English, Bahasa, or Mandarin. Step 1 is to create your logins. So for that, you need your mobile number, your email address, and a password, which is 8 characters, alphanumeric with at least uppercase, lowercase. Now, once you do that, we will verify your device. This is a security process. And once we have verified your device through a OTP, now you go into the second step and third step, which is activating your parent wallet. Now, the parent wallet activation is a regulatory step. Please use the correct information here. because this will help you in future when you want to close your account and get your refunds. Please also make sure you do not put your child's information here. The moment you put your child's information here, you will not be able to register your child as a dependent anymore. All right. So if you have had such situations where your child has registered by mistake, then just come to us. We'll help you resolve them through customer care. Right. Now, parent wallet activation. These are the data points that you need, and then of course the final step in the account creation is creating your 6-digit user PIN, similar to all your e-wallet transactions. So 6-digit of choice, and then you're done. Your principal account is created. Now you'll be taken to the home screen. Let me explain to you the home screen a little bit, because it differs from how a typical wallet would look. A typical wallet is a single user wallet, whereas in Vircle you have your whole family. So you have on top your parent wallet. This is all the money that you have topped up. So think of it as a principal account. And it reflects all your top-ups that you do through your online banking cards. Now, every time you allocate some money to your children, it will be visible under the allocated to family space, and then the available balance is really the remaining. So for example, if you topped up your parent wallet with 1,000 ringgit and you've transferred 200 ringgit to your child, then it will show you allocated to family is 200 ringgit, and the remaining 800 ringgit will be shown in available balance. Now you may tap on top up to top up your parent wallet. History gives you a record of all transactions across your whole family. So if you have multiple children across multiple schools, or you have a child in Taylor's and another child older that's on a Visa card, you can manage all of them and get all their history in a single view. You tap on add child to add your supplementary user, help to get access to our FAQs or to reach to our customer care support line via chat. And you may also upgrade your e-wallet. Maybe you might not need that right now, but what we've seen as Vircle gets progressively more entrenched into different aspects of payments in schools, such as trips and other items that you might buy over e-store, and you have multiple children. Sometimes you might exceed your monthly limit of 4,999 or 5,000 ringgit, and in such instances, you might just want to complete a free upgrade, and you will get into a premium state, and that will give you a wallet size of 10,000. More on this will be explained in your wallet section of today's presentation. Now, once you're from your home screen, the first step would be to add your child. So you tap on add child. These are all the child data points. Now for child KYC data points, photo is optional. Now, why photo will be useful? You decide as a parent whether you want to add it or not. Now, every time your child taps their card on the point of sales, the name and picture will appear. So in a way, it will help the merchant at the school to make sure that someone else is not using your child's card to make a purchase. But again, it's really up to you as a parent whether you want to add a photo or not. But the rest of data points, please use the correct information because we check for duplicates and so on. Now, once you've registered your child successfully, you will use the connect to school functionality, and you will select e-invite code. And this is the 16 digits that we have provided to you in the email. Now, you enter the 16 digits. We will verify the code to make sure it's valid and it's not been used before by someone else by mistake. And you will see a successful message. And once you see a successful message on connecting to school, you will see now your child being visible in your home screen under My Family. Now, it's very important to understand that if you have accidentally mixed up the invite code, it's very important to know that this invite code has been pre-linked to your child's student card. Now, if you have made a mistake by accidentally using this invite code for the parent onboarding via, join community, or you swapped it with another child, you need to reach out to us immediately to customer care to let us know. Because once an invite code has been used, it cannot be reused, number one. And number two, if we have to generate new codes for you, we have to inform the school to relink their cards physically to the new codes. So mistakes do happen, we understand. you're not alone in this journey, especially introducing a new technology solution like this. So if something goes wrong, just reach out to our customer care and we'll see how we can help you in coordination with the school. Now, once you've added your child, always remember, top up the tank, which is top up your parent wallet. So you have two options: online banking or debit credit cards. And choose the amount you want to top up, and your top successful. Now, in the last 2 days, we've had a few parents that came to us who have had some problems with public bank FPX. So there was an issue on FPX with public bank top-ups. It was very, very slow. But sometimes these things happen. It's outside our control. But if you are struggling, just reach out to our WhatsApp line so that at least we can check with our payment gateway partner to see if there's an issue, and we can guide you accordingly. And if your payment or your top-up has been rejected, we can also check what's the reason it was rejected by your bank or the payment gateway. Now, understanding your wallet limits. When you register the e-wallet for the first time, you get a basic account. And this basic account is quite large. It gives you a wallet size of up to 4,999 and a monthly family spend limit of 4,999 also. This is, in most cases, sufficient for all in-school spending. However, I think in some cases where, if things like school trips and so on start moving into the app, and you have multiple children, then you might, hit the limit for the month. So in those cases, just go ahead and complete your premium upgrade through a KYC process, and then you should be good to go. Now, there are e-wallet top-up limits on a month. Credit debit cards are capped at 1,000 ringgit per month. There are no caps on FPX or online banking, right? So you can keep topping up to the wallet size. But just bear in mind, there's still always a monthly spend limit of 4,999. Now, your card quota is reset every month. So you get 1,000 ringgit every month. Now, once you've topped up your parent wallet, the natural thing to do is allocate money to your children. So from the home screen, there's a quick way to transfer money to your child. Just click the transfer button. And the other option is you go into your child's account page and click the transfer money icon. Now you have, in Taylor's Puchong, we have not enabled the spend at store option. So we recommend all parents to use the spend anywhere type of allowance. Now the advantage of using spend anywhere is any allowance given on spend anywhere, your child can use it in in the canteen, in the vending machine when it goes live, and for those older kids who might eventually buy their own photocopy credits and so on, the spend anywhere allowance can be used, at any of these stores. Also, if your child is traveling to another school for any sports meet or debates or things like that, the spend anywhere allowance can also be used in those schools using their Taylor School card. Now, we recommend parents to use the default settings, which is spend anytime. So basically, what this means is I give you 100 ringgit, you can spend it anytime, and then as it starts to get lower, I will keep giving you more money, right? So that's one option, and then you press transfer now to confirm, and then we will request for your 6-digit user PIN before the allowance is created. This is to make sure your children don't take your phone and start giving themselves allowance. Because they can't do it without their 6-digit user PIN. Now, there are a lot of parents who like to give daily limit allowances, right? So this is also possible. So if you want to mimic the typical cash pocket money kind of allowance, then you set an allowance amount. So this is a very rich kid. Here, he gets 100 ringgit every day as their budget. And then you select all the days that you want to allocate your child with this amount, and they will be, limited to this amount. So if you want to give your child 20 ringgit pocket money a day, you can do so, and you just select all the days that they should get this money. And then, a common question we get asked is, okay, if I allocate 20 ringgit, my child doesn't use it, what happens at the end of the day? So basically, currently, all the daily allowances that you give your children, anything unused after 12 midnight, it expires and just goes back to your parent available balance, right? Now, there are a lot of requests from parents to allow to auto-save unused allowance into the Vircle savings module. We plan to introduce that capability towards the end of the year. So you can always set it up then in Vircle savings that, any daily allowance that are unused, just sweep it to their saving module. So yeah, so this is daily limit. So you decide as a parent whether you want to use spend any time or set daily limits. But if setting daily limits, please make sure you get all the days, set correct, so your children always have money. Now, over the last 2 years since we launched, we have also been studying parent behaviors, and so on. And one of the things that are quite glaring is, as parents, we're always busy. Many times we forget to allocate money to our children. So for that, we created a feature called order transfers. Now you can set it up. It's one-time order transfer. There are different types of order transfers. A scheduled transfer, which can be configured as weekly or monthly. So a scheduled transfer, say you say 100 ringgit weekly. So this is transferred every Sunday morning. Actually, it could happen anywhere between Sunday morning 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. And if you choose monthly, it will happen in the morning on the first of the month. All right. So these are scheduled transfers. Now, what we see as quite popular among parents is a low balance transfer. So what happens is every time your child spends, if you have set up low balance, we will check your child's low balance, right? If the balance drops below the threshold, say, you set 20 ringgit as a threshold, the moment the balance drops below 20 ringgit, it will automatically transfer from parent to child. You just need to make sure as parents, your parent wallet is well funded. Now, every time auto transfer happens, you will receive an alert to your app. And every time auto transfer fails, you will also receive an alert in the app. Now, when auto transfer fails because you have insufficient funds in your parent balance, please top up and please manually allocate first to your child, like a normal transfer money, so that the next time they spend, auto transfer will kick in automatically again. Okay, so it's always important, if your order transfers for low balance has failed, you will need to first manually transfer once before it kickstarts again. Right? So please use this. It doesn't cost any extra fees to use this. It's free because we still have so many cases that merchants complain to us. Kids come to the counter and they have no money in the card. Now, history. So from the child's page of a family account, you can check the history. So now if your child has both a Taylor's Puchong school card and also a Vircle Visa card, you have a consolidated history on where they're spending and what they're spending on, right? Of course, if it's the in-school Taylor's card, we also give you details of what they have purchased based on what the merchant has selected. And we give you these insights, and we do it. As a parent myself, I always tell parents, please use the insights to have conversations with your kids. Because naturally, many kids don't know the parents have visibility on exactly what they purchased, and we've seen many cases, sometimes they go, they buy 3 sausages or 4 sausages when the mom said, don't buy sausage. And then, the mom gets it, and maybe it's the way the conversation started. The child says, oh no, I didn't buy it. This is fraud, right? Someone else bought it. Now, of course, when the teacher calls the child and asks them, they say, hey, no, but, I was so scared of my mom, so I lied, right? The insights are good, but the insights are for conversations, not for confrontations. Now, you can also tap on cash transfer history to know all the history of your transfers within your account and a child's account. Now, all the history is limited to 90 days. So please, bear in mind on that, because, as a service that's used in school, the platform generates immense amount of transaction traffic, right? On average today, just in our 50 schools, we process over 500,000 transactions a month. So it's really not feasible for us to hold long duration amount of transactions to be accessed through the app. Right now, so I just saw a question I'm going to answer. Right now, there's no export function, but that is definitely going to be coming soon this year. We just need a slot to get this into our development cycle where you could export these transactions. But if you do have a concern and you want a printout list, you can just reach out to customer care. We will just pull this data for you and hand it over to you over a Excel or CSV file. Okay, so that is the common most used feature, which is tap and pay or cash allowance. It's basically what you transfer your child's card and the child can tap and pay. You get insights and alerts. Now, the next one is prepaid meal plan. Now, this is something that you need to pay attention because the way meal plans are deployed in Taylor's Puchong is a little more complex because of the discounts you get. So I want to explain this in more detail to you all. So to order a meal plan, just tap on your child's account, go to your child's account page, tap on meal plans, select a year and class. This is because some meal plans are customized for certain years and class only. So make sure you choose the right one. And also, if meals are delivered, the merchant needs to know year and class. Now, year and class by default is stored in the app. So the next time your child goes to next year, just please update them. It's a one-time thing for the whole app. Now, you get to see all the available meal plans that are eligible to be purchased for your child. So you have children in different years, and if they're customized plans for secondary and primary and so on, you will see different types of plans for each of these keys. Now, let me jump straight to the options. Now, there are daily meal plans, which closes the day before, which you can purchase. So these are not live yet in the app. These should be live before the start of use in your school, which I think meal plans are starting the week of 10th of July. So you can buy these daily plans and they close 12 noon the day before. Now, what we have seen parents starting to buy is the combo meal plans. Now, these combo meal plans are non-standard from a Vircle point of view. So for those of you who plan to use the combo meal plans, you get a discount, right? And the way you do this is you buy Monday, the entire week's meal plan is on the first day, which is on Monday, right? So you will see Monday will be $50 or $60 or whatever the price is for all the week's meal plans. But once you purchase Monday, before you pay for it, you must complete selections for all days. And you'll realize Tuesday to Friday, the meals are priced zero. So you can't buy Tuesday to Friday without buying the first day, right? Now, you must select all meal options for all days before you proceed to pay, right? And if you have made a mistake by buying Monday and forgetting to select the other days, we've had 2 cases today. Please reach out to customer care. We will help void those purchases for you so you can go back and purchase them again correctly. So for those parents who are opting to buy the combo meal plans, you will see the word combo in front of the meal plans. We have just got them changed by the merchant. Just make sure you you make your selections for every meal option every day before you proceed to pay. Now, you have any inquiries about the meal plans and how it's structured, the pricing and details of the meal plan, you can actually reach out directly to Caesar's Kitchen at TIS. I'm sorry, that's a wrong email. It should be tispc@caesarskitchen.com. My apologies for that. Now, if you're choosing a daily meal plan, this is interesting because now daily meal plan, you can pick and choose which days you want and which meals you want. It's like an a la carte, right? You can have morning snacks, you can have lunch, you can have both. You just select whichever meals you want, and then you review, check out, and you then proceed to make your payments. Now, for weekly bundle meal plans, you will have to select all the days. These are examples of what I told you earlier. So if you look at this example, this is actually your Taylor's Puchong 10 to 14 July meal plan. You see the meal plan says combo meal plan. If you look at Monday, there is a price. There's also a small fine print saying, remember to select for all days. So you select Monday, you must go back in, use the plus button here, to select Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because all these meals are included in the Monday price. And it's a discounted price versus the a la carte. Okay. And then once you've completed all the selection, review your choices, confirm your order, and then you make the purchase, enter your 6-digit user PIN, and meal plan is successful. Now, until the date of closing of the meal plan, if any of your meal plan, for example, your Tuesday lunch has different options in the same price point, and you decide, or your child says, hey, mommy, why do you choose Asian? I want Western. You can still tap on the meal plan and go and update your choice. So this is valid until the day the meal plan closes. Okay, so this is meal plan. So just take note, take extra caution when you're buying combo meal plans to make sure you select for all 5 days. Now, the other feature is a school ESOL. Think of it as a Shopee Lazada for your school. Now we have one store in there right now, which is just selling student ID cards. So you could just go in and buy and order your student ID cards, but progressively more items will be added, more categories will be added, and more stores will be added. Now, this is an example of ID tag. You select an ID tag, you can choose different options you have. And also, like for example, in this particular product, the school has requested the name of the person into the add notes section. So if you're buying the ID card, please specify who this ID card is for so the school knows who to print it for. Now, same like meal plans, this is e-store purchase. You put in your 6-digit PIN and the e-store purchase is completed. Now, it's very important to understand any purchase you make in-app is done by the parent, right? So that the money for those purchases are deducted from your available balance, not from your child's balance. So if you want to buy meal plans or any e-store items for your child, please don't transfer the money to your child's account and try to use it, right? Remember, anything you transfer to your child is to be accessed through their card in school, right? Anything you want to purchase in the app, it uses your parent available balance. Okay, so you can also go to your e-store order history to check all your orders and so on. Now, some other things that are important to know, what happens if your child has lost a card. You could temporarily deactivate the card. Don't unlink it, just deactivate the card. And then once you find it, you can activate the card. I mean, the other option is if you're worried you will forget to reactivate the card. From the child's page, you can see this allowance. You can always tap this right arrow on this allowance to cancel it. So any allowance you give your child, whether it's fully utilized, whether it's partially utilized or unutilized, you can just tap on the allowance and tap on stop allowance, and it'll cancel that allowance and move it back to your parent wallet. So we've had one parent reached out today. They transferred too much money to the child, and they asked us, how do I take it back? So you can just tap on any of allowance, tap on stop, and the money goes back to the parent. Now, child logins. So if your child has their own phone, you can actually go to their account page, settings, enable app login. Now, they have a limited view of their account. Most parents use it to allow kids to track their balance, their savings. They assign their chores through the app. So whenever your child has a chore, they can look at the emissions, look at what are the pending chores. They can complete it, mark it as complete, and then you can reward them with whatever reward for completing their chores. Now, to enable app login, you need a few data points, which includes a valid email address and a valid phone number. Your child needs to have an email address and phone number. And once you have created the account, just share the password with your child. They can just download the app, put in their phone number, put in the password that you've created for them, and access their view-only account. Now, if you're moving schools or if you moved into Taylor's Puchong from another school that uses Vircle, you can tap on your school card from Manage Card and just tap on Unlink, right? And then you can unlink the card. And then once you have unlinked the card, you will see the Connect to School option again to connect to Taylor's Puchong. So this is a very simple way of how you move schools. You don't have to remove your account. You don't have to create a new account. You just unlink your card and connect to school. Now, Pin to Pay is a parent feature. assuming you've gone to the school, you have not set up a parent Vircle card yet. You want to buy something in the canteen and pay with Vircle. Now you can go to your child's account and use the allowance to make the payment. So you click on Pin to Pay. You tap on Pin to Pay. You key in your 6-digit user PIN, and the system will generate a 6-digit code. You tell the merchant, I want to pay with PIN, and show them the 6-digit one-time use code, and they will have access to your child's allowance, and you can buy something with your child's allowance. So if you're using your child's money, please don't forget to top it up again, yeah? Okay, so earlier I spoke to you about parents frequently forgetting to give their children money. Then we created order transfers. Then we realized that parents are also hesitant to use order transfers. Then we have kids who don't have money to make purchases. So we created a new feature that Caesar's Kitchen will be using at Taylor's Puchong, which is called an IOU student credit. And it solves the problem which the merchant has today when you have no money. They have to write down your details and figure out how to collect this from you. So what happens when your child ends up in the counter with insufficient funds? You will be notified immediately. So you will get an alert saying that your child has purchased at the school canteen for how much, on when, but has insufficient balance on his card. So this has been added to your family dues. So you can just open your app. You will see an annoying pop-up saying family payments due. Just tap on the details and you can complete the payment on behalf of your child from the app. Now, what happens if you don't complete the IOUs? Now, after some time, you will not be able to transfer allowances to your child until you complete the IOU payments. Now, this feature is only recommended to be used for school canteens, simply because the schools typically have policies that no children should go hungry. So if you have had an IOU, please clear them as you get these alerts, because the merchant has a right that if a child has accumulated too much IOU, to deny your child more food. Okay, so this is like the last bastion of hope that that payments can go through, especially for food purchases. Now we are towards the end of the session before I head to Q&A. So for parents who are having older teenagers, as I said, once you upgrade your wallet, you can issue your children with I would say what I would consider one of the safest prepaid debit card in the country. You have all the controls. You can turn on and off different channels. We're also going to add blacklist of merchants. So if your child spends too much on Robux, you can actually add Robux to a blacklist, and tell them, okay, next 60 days, no more Robux. We're doing a lot of research and development to enable this, hopefully by Q3. But simply, we allow parents to program this Visa card to the level of safeties that they are comfortable with. So if you're not comfortable with your child spending online, you can turn online off. Or if you want to use this for your aged parents to manage their own pocket money, you can also do that. So these are some add-ons. It's completely optional. You can get more information on this at visaforkids.com. Now, if you have any issues, I just want to say, we are not perfect. We are a startup. We are also learning. We get a lot of input and help from parents, guidance from parents on what they think could be better. So please feel free to give us a lot of constructive feedback on what we can do better. And also give us a lot of suggestions on what you would like to see coming up in the app. And if you're stuck somewhere, just remember, 011-111-76000 is the helpline. It's a chat line only. There are no voice calls to this line. So please use the WhatsApp to chat with us on these lines. Now, even though it's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, we do periodically off-peak hours go and check for outstanding calls. And if we see if there's a lot of calls, we try to clear them the same night itself. Okay. Without further ado, I'm going to look through the questions and start answering them. Okay, now the question on location access, I'm going to take that first from a parent. Now, location access is mandatory because of two things. whenever top up is done and whenever in-app purchases are done. And this is mandated from a security and compliance point of view. There's no other reason why we lock location. It's actually similar to all the other e-wallets like TNG e-wallet and so on. You will not be able to make in-app purchases or top up your wallet if you turn off location permission. Now, there's the next question. If we have purchased the meal plan on the old website, which allows us to only order lunch or snack, however, the new app have to purchase it as a set, what happens to those already ordered on the old website? I believe all those old orders will be honored. Now, in Vircle, you will be able to use the daily meal plans to do the same thing as you mentioned. It's just that the daily meal plans have not gone on sale yet. So tomorrow we will speak to Caesar's Kitchen to ask them to at least start releasing week one's daily meal plan, and not publish too many of the combo plans up front. So 2 weeks of combo plans are live already, and we will try to get them to maybe publish at least the first week's daily meal plans, so you can start purchasing them if you want to start purchasing them. And in daily meal plans, you can choose whether you want lunch, you want snack. It's up to you. There's no compulsion. I have a question. Shadow 8, which is currently having the card. Can her card be linked to my account? Yes. So we have not sent out invites for parents yet. Now, both parents will get separate invites. You can decide, because one parent will be the principal account owner already. If the second parent wants to be a dependent, you just add your spouse as a child using the same child process. So you can use your your spouse's invite code, add them as a child. Whereas if you are the principal account user, you will use the join community option with your own code. So when we send out your parent invite codes, and also for your aids, if you don't get a code for your aid, reach out to us and say, hey, I need a dependent code for my aid. And then we will make sure you get an invite code for your aid, which you can use as a dependent. Okay, the balance of the current school tech, I think the plan is to do an auto top up onto Vircle. I don't know exactly when. From a Taylor's team, do you all have a date when the transfer to Vircle will happen from the old system?
I think it's in September, somewhere in September.
Okay, thank you. So just bear in mind, parents, for those of you all who need a transfer from the old account to Vircle, the balances, this can only happen if you have been onboarded and your children have been onboarded, right? And when this auto top up happens, you will receive an alert in the app that a top up has happened. Next question, is there any additional surcharge for topping up through the credit card? No, there are no surcharges, and that's the reason why the limit is capped. Now, there are parents who have asked us to consider having open card limit or unlimited with following the same structure of Touch and Go on BigPay, where if you use it to top up more than 1,000 ringgit, there's a surcharge of 1%. Right now, we have not decided whether we want to go down that route, but for top-ups, it's free. You don't charge any surcharge for it. Can both parents register for parent accounts separately, or the children account type? Yeah, the children account can always be tied to only one parent. I mean, think of the child account as a supplementary account in a bank and a supplementary card. It has to be one-to-one mapped to an adult account. We would love to have two parents to manage a single account, but that's just simply not allowed from our regulatory approvals point of view. But if you're a spouse and you want to be part of your family account because you don't want to have your own app, then your principal account owner can add you as a child also, and then enable child login for you, and so that way you know how much money you have, and you can still have the whole family balance in the single account. Okay, what are the other schools that are enrolled in Vircle? So we have 50 schools. Not going to details too much. All the schools under the Fairview Group, the XCL, KDU, Real, 10B, Straits groups. So all the group schools are on Vircle. I think the Taylor's group is the last group to come on board. And then we also have like, ISKL, BSKL, and then now we're going to launch very soon into public schools and boarding schools too. But pretty much all the mainstream private international schools across Penang, JB, and Klang Valley are either launched Vircle already or in the process of launching. So we have 50 and we have another 12 coming between now and September on board. So now the other question is the transaction history. So for now, 90 days. You can't export, but that's in our to-do list. Now, in the meantime, if you do need a printout or export of all your transactions, we can extract up to 6 months, pretty much straightforward through customer care and pass it to you. But if you need anything more than that, it will take more time because we don't store more than 6 months readily accessible from a transaction point of view. Okay, so since one parent can register for Vircle, will the other parent ID still use his ID? Okay, so every parent will receive their own code. This we will only start sending out once the onboarding hits about 60%. So it should be next 1 week or two, you should start getting your parent invite codes. Now you need to decide. Of course, if you're the principal account holder for the whole family, you will add your code as a principal code through your home screen settings join community. Now for your spouse, if you want your spouse to be part of the family, just add your spouse as child. Now if your spouse wants to be their own app user, they can register for their own account and add the card to themselves. Now, how long upon account closure? Usually it's within 14 days. Regulation-wise, it's 30 days, but so far our track record is under 14 days. Now, usually when it delays is when we get submitted a closure request and the bank account given to us does not match, the name and ID number does not match the registered account user. So always remember that when you close your account, we can only transfer this money to a Malaysian bank account using the same ID as the registered user. Otherwise, in under 14 days, you should get the money. Typically, our closure credit date is on a Thursday. So every Thursday is when the money gets credited to your bank account. The next one, meal plan deducts from parent wallet or child's. As I explained earlier, anything in-app is deducted from the parent balance, not from the child's card balance. So it's not just meal plans, also for e-store. Now, there is a holiday in the middle of the week. Now, your canteen operator should know that there's a holiday in the middle of the week. So when they publish a meal plan, they will exclude those days. So for example, if you look at the week of July 17th, I think the meal plan is only a 2-day week, right? So you'll only see meals for the 2 days. Now, for some reason, sometimes mistakes do happen. Where such mistakes happen and they have published it and you have purchased it, you can request the merchant to refund you the funds, and they have a process on how to return the credit back to your wallet. Yeah, next question is, I can't order July 1st week meal plan. Kindly assist. So it's been brought to our attention that the first week is not there. We will take this discussion with the school and Caesars tomorrow to understand why. Maybe it's an oversight from Caesars. And if it's an oversight, we will get them to publish it. Or we'll ask the school to send out a comms on this, on why the first week is not on Vircle. Now, the next question is, I have 2 kids, but only one has received an invite code. I did not get invite code for the primary student child. Okay, so you could reach out to us. We can double check. And if you don't have, we typically will send a note to the school in our internal operations team and the school ops to actually send out the onboarding details to us. And once they publish it to us, you will automatically receive an email. Okay, what if the parent balance is zero or low? Can there be an order transfer to the parent wallet? Unfortunately, at present, no. We would love to have it, but the way card order top-ups work is most gateways don't want to, or most banks that are part of payment gateways do not want to allow e-wallets to do it. And if you can do it, so for example, Touch and Go allows you to do it, is because CIMB owns part of Touch and Go, and they underwrite the fraud risk of the auto top-ups. We would love to have it, but I think we've tried asking the gateway several times, and they've said no. The underlying bank, in this case, public bank, does not allow. How can parent link their own parent school card? So for parent school card, just hang in there. Within the next 2 weeks, you will receive the invites for parent codes. Or if we see the onboarding has hit and passed the 60% threshold by this week, we will start sending you the parent email invites. So just hang in there. It's just a matter of a week or so. So yes, once you have onboarded the parent cards, the next question is, can parents make purchase using the parent ID cards at schools? Yes, once you have onboarded onto your family account using the invite codes that we'll send you in the next 1 week, then the same way you allocate money to your child, you will allocate, you will see your own profile or your spouse profile in My Family. Just transfer money to your spouse or your own profile, and that money will be accessible through the card. Next one is, this one is from Juaria. Suggestion: budgeting and spending tips. Yes, this has been in our to-do list. I'll be very honest with you. We have been very focused this year up to Q3 to focus on the revenue features, because as a startup, we need to make money. We actually have financial literacy content coming in soon. We will have some announcement on partnership with 2 foundations who are preparing the content for financial literacy part. And also budgeting is there, and also spending analytics is also in our roadmap. As soon as we can expand, we almost always feel that we never have enough software engineers to build the ever-growing roadmap that we keep setting for ourselves. But yeah, thank you for the suggestion. I can assure you that it's in our roadmap. There's a Vircle e-wallet transact non-school merchant. Okay, so right now, the only option for outside school is the Vircle Visa prepaid card. Now, a lot of people ask us, why won't we support Do It Now QR? And simple reason is, while Do It Now QR is a Malaysian local payment network, it's extremely expensive right now to join that. We have actually raised our concerns to Bank Negara and PayNet many times. It's extremely, extremely expensive to join the network. So what we have been assured is, in a year or so, there will be alternative means for startups to join Do It Now program without having to pay an arm and a leg for it. So we are ever waiting for something that makes sense financially to be added to the app. But in the meantime, you have the Child Safe Visa card for anything outside school, international, online, and so on. That's the only option for now. We are also about to announce a major partnership with one of the largest banks. Part of the discussion is to introduce Do It Now QR, but it really depends whether PayNet or Bank Negara approves for the bank to sponsor us. If they do, you will see it earlier. Now, can one child hold 2 cards? Absolutely. This is how we see in many of our other schools, especially for the teenagers. They have 2 cards, and basically they use the school card for in-school and the Visa card for outside school. Will the balance in the student card, okay, this is the same thing. This is from the old system. The school will perform this remotely before the start of the next term. And when this is done, you will get an alert and hopefully an email too from the school that this has been done. And you will see this as part of your transaction history as a top-up Vircle refund, cashback, or something like that when this is done. So this has already been planned with the school. They want a clean date, which I think is the end of the term, where the cutoff and the balance can be cleaned up and then transferred to Vircle. Okay, which email ID to be used? We always recommend to use your personal email ID because for many parents, they use Vircle both, sometimes beyond the time the child spends in school, and sometimes kids move schools. So in an ideal scenario, we recommend parents always to use your personal email. So if you want to change it, you can reach out to customer care. It's not a big deal, but our recommendation will be personal. Thank you, Sulin. I have an account. I'm sorry, Nor Haslinda. I'm really sorry I missed your question. I already have an account and I linked my son a few months back. How do I link it to school? Okay, so if you already have your account for your child, so you can go to Manage Card. You will see the Connect to School option. So if you have already onboarded your child directly as a consumer using the Visa card approach, if you go to your child's account, Manage Card, you will see Connect to School. Tap on it, enter 16 digits, and you'll be connected to Taylor's Puchong, and the Taylor's Puchong card will become automatically active. Now, your second question is, how does it affect his monthly allowance? So right now, we do not separate allowances between inside school and outside school. Now, if anyone wants to volunteer to be in our parent support group, we're actually having a debate from a design perspective. Do we want to allow parents to separate this? We have, for us to build this, it's very fast, we can do it. But what we have realized is there's a reason why spend and store is not enabled in the school, and we're slowly phasing out spend and store. What we realize more and more parents making mistakes in spend and store is, for example, when we had, for example, another school spend and store with all the merchants available, a parent will give 20 ringgit for canteen, but expect the child can spend the 20 ringgit, which is allocated for canteen, in the bookshop. And when the child cannot spend, the parent gets upset with us. So what we realize is parents end up giving allowance at different stores to what they want the kids to spend. So we slowly stopped enabling spend at store for schools, and we encourage parents to use spend anywhere. Now, in terms of separating allowance from spend anywhere for in-school spending, outside school spending, we are open to hear your feedback. Please drop us a message in the WhatsApp group and tell us, if you want to join a parent research group, and we would like to get your feedback to understand from a design perspective whether we should split it. Now, just to let you know, the meal plan that you see in app, the design, and even the e-store was actually co-designed with a bunch of parents who didn't like our original design, and they sat down with us and said, we think this is how it should be because it should be much simpler and so on. So we work a lot with volunteer parents who come and say, hey, this doesn't make sense. We think it should work this way. And then if we agree, then we change. Now, we don't separate the transactions in school and outside school. You can see it all in the history. But you will see it listed differently. I mean, if it's Visa transaction, you will see the actual merchant name. If it's a school transaction, it will just say spending at POS. So if it already has a Vircle card, so you can add both, no problem. When can I apply for the Visa card? It's already available now. So if you go to your child's page, you'll see apply for Visa card now. So it's part of our pro plan. But before you can start the application process, you must complete your eKYC and premium upgrade first. Okay, I hope I have answered all the questions. If I missed anything, please feel free to unmute and go ahead and ask.
Does anyone have any questions to Gokula?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So if you miss something, do just WhatsApp us, and we'll try to answer them as quick as possible. I think the team is working overnight today to help you out. And for the rest of you, thank you so much for staying up the full hour. We passed almost an hour, and to have a smooth launch and rollout at school. Wishing you all a pleasant week and good night. Then,
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
bye bye.